Welcome to Fuzzy Memories, the podcast that celebrates the good, the rad, and the fugly of the 80s and 90s.
We are three latchkey kids who made it out alive. I'm Amy.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Heath.
And today we're going to celebrate the hits, the misses, and the misfits of the year 1994.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, Erin. Hi, Heath.
Hello.
How are you?
Back.
We're back. Guess what? This is the first time we're recording when our show is live. Our show is not we're not.
I was like,
Right.
we're not live.
Where's the camera?
We know better than that.
Yeah,
We're not putting this directly out.
Hell no. No, I meant as in
That was
we
in my
have-
contract. I will not do live.
Wait, we have contracts? I know he has the billion-year contract,
Right.
but I didn't think that. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, never mind. All right.
Billion-year contract. I forgot we told him that he signed a billion-year. God, we're good Scientologists.
We are. Yeah. But yeah, our show is up. It's out in the world.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this one, thanks
Yeah.
for sticking around to episode 4,
Yes.
which is a great year.
What's the year, Erin?
1994.
1994.
Just feels like a good year.
Feels like a good year. It was the year you graduated high school, Heath.
It was the year I graduated from high school. Uh-huh.
That's
You had-
quality.
The best senior picture, which was what made me think of this year.
It
That's
is
not even, I need to find the other one with me and Daffy Duck, because the one you saw.
What?
Yes. The one you saw is wild for different reasons, because I was wearing an Alabama sweatshirt. I've never been to Alabama yet. Like, even now.
wait. So what's the Daffy Duck one?
Yeah.
I had a T-shirt with Daffy Duck on it, and I was
And you wore
wearing that
Okay,
in one of the
okay.
pictures, and the guy took a picture of Daffy Duck on the T-shirt and then like blew it up, and so in the final picture I'm standing next to Daffy Duck, you know, like a normal 18-year-old would do.
That is a wild artistic decision on the photographer's
yes,
part.
yes. And I ordered that, like, when I had to pick out the poses, that was one of the ones I picked out. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think, well, I know why. I mean,
You
yeah.
have to at that point. You had no other choice. The
Right.
right
Yeah.
decision in that
Right.
choose your own adventure is yes, you order that print.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, Warner Brothers has not contacted me to destroy all the negatives yet.
Okay.
That might happen after they hear
might
about
happen
this.
after
Yes.
this.
I assume
Yeah.
someone at Warner Brothers is listening to this.
Yeah. We got good feedback over the first couple episodes of Warner Brothers.
It's
so-
definitely Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
they're
the-
giving us high
definitely.
marks.
With the strike going on, I'm sure they've got time on their hands.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. They
They're
definitely
counting all
do.
their money they
Yeah.
don't want to give to the writers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so Daffy Duck. Wow.
Yep.
Was not expecting that.
No.
Yeah, I don't. We
Neither
can end the episode now. That was enough for me. My mind is a little bit blown.
Oh wow. It would have been a thrill to know you back then with your Daffy Duck shirt.
I can give you some phone numbers to people that
Oh,
can tell you
great.
how much of a
Okay.
thrill it was.
Should we say them on air?
Yeah.
I want you to find that print, and then I expect it to come in an unannounced email. It's just an
Yes.
attachment.
Yeah.
It's just like numbers. I don't want any, and I just want to open it and have it be that.
Yeah. So please do that.
All right.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I like it. Perfect. Done.
I mean, that is definitely not unmitigated gall. That is mitigated. No, that's not gall at all. That's just boldness.
That's-
a bold choice.
Yes.
So I can't really transition to unmitigated gall from that. So we're just going to make a hard pivot like we
Okay.
used to do on
Yeah, I
Broads
like
and
that.
Books. Yeah. Heath, I want to hear what your unmitigated gall was for the last couple weeks since we last recorded.
My unmitigated gall is tomatoes.
Listen, I agree. Hate them.
This time of year, like, get over yourselves. There's too much of you around. We don't need all of this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Every year it's the same thing. You can't go anywhere this time of year without these goddamn tomatoes. People are trying to give them away at work. My husband went to the farmer's market a week ago. Came back. He was like, look at what. He got 30 pounds of tomatoes for $10. And I was like, and our friend Travis was with him, and I confronted Travis. And I was like, when I am not there, you need to help, you know.
You're the gatekeeper
Yes.
of the tomatoes.
Yes.
This is too many.
This is on you, partially. I have all these tomatoes in my house. They're still there.
What?
Because, yeah, what do you do with that many tomatoes?
Well, he made some stuff that's in the freezer now. He made some ratatouille.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
He threw some off our balcony, just out into the alley, like a normal person.
I don't hate.
Were there
any of
senior
this.
pictures being taken while he threw the tomato?
No, this was just late at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So no one would cover
Yeah.
up darkness
Right,
for the
yeah.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that he uses them because, like, the difference between me in the produce section at the grocery store and me at home is a lot of rotting.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I'm going to eat those.
Yep.
This 5-pound bag of clementines, and
No.
then I eat chips,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
and here we are.
They should design a refrigerator that has like a direct chute from the crisper drawer to the garbage. It'd just save us all a lot of shame.
Should.
Yeah, it just goes in there. 4 days later, it just goes
Yeah, it just has a little like
automatically to the
arm that
garbage.
pushes
Yep.
it out, and you never see it again.
Yeah. Listen, if we can get to the moon, we can make that happen.
Make. Oh my God, that's something that Mike says all the time. I've never heard anyone else say it.
Except our friend Heath.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that really made it for me. Okay.
Well, my unmitigated gall is aging because because I got like a New York Times newsletter about summer music, and I didn't recognize anyone on the list, and I didn't recognize any songs. And you know, there was a time where I would have been bummed by that, but mostly I was just like, "Fuck you, New York Times! Don't remind me." Don't remind me that I'm in my 40s and that I don't know this. I know plenty of music, okay?
Yeah.
Just not today's pop stars, all right?
No, that's just some wild names too. That's a tough group to just
Yeah.
jump into and try and learn.
I can't do it.
No.
I mean, is it Doja Cat or Doha Cat? I don't even know how to say it.
I think the second for sure.
Doha?
Yes, Doha.
Is that a hard J, ma'am?
Yeah.
Doha?
Yeah. These are the questions we need to ask because we're
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
So the gall of aging. That's where I'm at.
I like that.
Yeah.
I have one this week, and it's people.
Oh, just every.
Nope, it's narrowed down to 2 people.
Okay.
I don't know
Us?
your names. No, I don't know their names. Mike and I are leaving the bank this week. This is around lunchtime in the middle of the week in our small town of Norwalk. We come out. As we're coming out of the bank, this car drives by us with a Starbucks cup on its roof.
Oh.
With the little green thing in it. I was like, oh, that is such a bummer. And Mike's like, yeah, we should wave and let them know. Because at this point, it's in Norwalk. You're only going like 25, right? Mm-hmm. So we turn and there's a stoplight ahead. Mike and I are like, oh, perfect. We'll pull up next to him. Well, they get in the turning lane. Well, that's where we're going too. So he has to speed up a little bit to catch up to him, which probably should have been a red flag. Wasn't. Second red flag. Mike rolls down his window. The passenger, person number 2, rolls down his window and goes, hey, guys! And is doing a really weird arm motion. And we're both like, what? And Mike and I weren't prepared for that part, but immediately get back on our game and say, there's coffee on your roof. And we're like throwing our hands up like it's up there. So then they both are like reaching, but missing it. And we're like, it's right there. And then he kind of does a shruggy emoji at me and keeps driving. And Mike and I are like, what? So we have to turn. They're going up and we see a stoplight. We're like, surely he's going to get out and solve this problem, right? So we literally are turning and we sat there for a minute and watched this car. He doesn't get out. So we drive a block and I go, oh my God, we just got pranked. And Mike's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I guarantee if you look up right now, there's some like magnet cup that you put on your roof and you drive around and see. So I did the smart thing and asked our 16-year-old who's familiar with TikTok. And it's a freaking TikTok challenge. And they sell these magnetic cups everywhere. I didn't even get the word we pulled up to them out before Evan was like, you don't know about the Starbucks cup? And I was like, don't say it like that.
Okay, this is directly relevant to my gall of aging.
Yes. But the unmitigated gall to make me care about your coffee And then I get it. Maybe we went a little overboard, but I was feeling bad. I felt bad for you about your coffee because I know what my coffee means to me. And that I was like, that sucks. If you spill that on your car, you're going to have to go through the car wash today. And that might not be on your list of things to do. The amount of time and effort that Mike and I put into trying to tell this person to realize that we might be on a video.
Are you on a video?
I don't know. I don't know why you would do it if you weren't recording.
Listen, when I go out of the house, I don't want anyone to pay any attention to me at all. So this is so foreign to me that somebody would do something to intentionally get someone else's attention.
Also, this is like the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. You don't have anything better to do?
I don't understand pranks just sort of in general.
Right.
But this seems like a really dumb prank.
Right. And I had to bring it because for the rest of the day, I told everyone that we encountered, and consensus was almost out of the gate that we got pranked. A lot of questions about why we even sped up to tell the person. And I was like, I still, I guess, had like this much faith in humanity. I have none. I have none
gone?
now. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. I'm telling you right now, if you drive by me and there is legitimate coffee on your roof, too bad I'm not telling you. Too bad. It's ruined. It's ruined. I'm not even going to look at you.
When you look back on your life, will it just be like the time before this or the time after this?
Yes, it absolutely will. It'll be, this is the turning point.
Time before, the cup prank, and the time after.
So like AD and BC.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah. Okay.
BP, that was really hard to come up with. Before prank. AD, or no, AP. AP after prank.
You know what just made me incensed too is just imagining like maybe Evan is listening and he and his friends are listening because he's told all his friends about us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're listening to us and thinking, those old bastards had no idea about this TikTok thing. How did they not know?
I mean, the pit in my stomach that absolutely fell when I said not even a full sentence before Evan was like, oh yeah, the Starbucks cup thing. And I was like, oh yeah, the Starbucks cup thing. I mean, I just completely resorted to like 5th grade insults. I was like, oh, it's a thing. Like,
First of all, this sounds like elder abuse. And second of all, they should be happy you don't know about it. You shouldn't know about this. None of us should know about
We
this.
shouldn't.
Yes.
That's a bigger problem. If we were like,
you.
if you would have been like, oh yes, it's a TikTok challenge. Nope. You shouldn't know about
that's
that.
true. Yeah.
That's a very good
That
point.
is a really good point. And that really encapsulates what I felt like that night when I was going to bed. And I thought about it in my head. And I was like, my heart hurts because this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Also, they were like finance bros.
Oh, God.
It was like a brand new like GMC Yukon. Like it wasn't what you would like.
So these weren't like teens or anything.
Oh, no, they were in their 40s.
I hate them. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This
It's
took
worse,
a
right?
turn.
Does that make it
That
worse?
makes it
So
worse.
much
That makes it
worse.
So much
So that
worse.
means they're on TikTok and they're like, this is going to be great.
And like you had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
lunchtime, we're gonna put that Starbucks magnet on my car and we're gonna drive around and see how many people we get.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, they shouldn't have known about this either. If they were there, if they were in their 40s, they shouldn't have
Absolutely
known about
not.
this either. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be in prison.
Thank you.
Lock them up.
Lock them up.
Listeners, if you haven't caught on yet, this is the funnest podcast ever. We love fun.
We love fun so much.
And I held on to that and was like, this is my unmitigated call of the week. Because I'm pissed.
See, this is where we need to vent. This is good to have.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go back to a time when you were a youth and you would have never pranked anybody?
So BP.
Yes, BP.
Yes. Let's go back BP.
Far BP to 1994.
1994. A simpler time.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
No TikTok at least.
No TikTok, exactly. Well, Heath, since you were the one that graduated that year, you want to start us off with some pop culture of
I
1994?
would love to.
Fantastic, because we love fun. We love fun.
was so sincere there. It was.
I want to talk about a movie called Death of a Cheerleader that starred Tori Spelling and Kelly Martin.
Death of a cheerleader.
Mind blown already. What?
Apparently, the original title was A Friend to Die For. It was a TV movie.
Oh my! I think I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. The internet. The title was changed for reasons the internet will not share with me. I do not know why. Yeah, and It aired on September 26th, 1994, an auspicious day in the history of this country. And it starred Tori Spelling as a popular cheerleader who was stabbed to death. And I don't know why else you would stab someone unless you were trying to kill them.
Right, yeah.
It also starred Kelly Martin of Life Goes On,
Oh,
Yeah, she
okay.
was Corky's sister on Life
Yes.
Goes On. Yep. The plot summary really says it all. I'll read it to you. Who would have stabbed popular, beautiful cheerleader Stacy to death? It could have been antisocial goth girl Monica. It could have...
Oh, not the goths!
It could have been angst-ridden Jill.
Oh.
Or maybe it was the plain girl nobody suspected.
So it was definitely the plain girl? Is that what we're going
I read that and I was like, not the plain girl.
No.
Okay, so we've got a goth, we've got an angst-ridden kid, and we've got that damn plain girl.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Who was it? Do you know?
Well, I don't want to ruin it, but it was the plain girl.
Okay.
I mean, they kind of did in
Yeah.
the synopsis
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing again, but I did watch the preview of it, and it very clearly in the preview shows the plain girl stabbing Tori Spelling to death.
Okay, so whoever wrote this was not great.
It's based on a true story.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's a plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
Plain girl. So what does that mean? What's plain girl mean exactly? Should we?
It means
She's wearing glasses.
Okay.
And she's got like I
No
don't know,
makeup.
No makeup. Yeah. She wears, just sort of frumpy clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this, that she used to go to Catholic school and she transferred to public school. And then she stabbed somebody. So
That feels right.
That feels right?
That feels
Yeah.
right. That
If you
feels
would
like
transfer to-
unbridled rage that you had no place to put. And
So when this came out, you watched this. Mm-hmm. And did you love it?
I loved it for the wrong reasons.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, it wasn't like high cinema. It wasn't art. It wasn't, but it was just so. And a lot of the things that we've watched, back in the day, it was just so they didn't really give the audience much credit, and they just made it like, the Mean Girls were so clearly over the top mean, and it was weird too because they kind of made it seem like, plain girl who stabbed Tori Spelling, like they were almost justifying why she did it, and it's like. No, you shouldn't stab people.
Yeah. Nope.
there's
Especially to death.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to death. No.
just a light stabbing. That's easier
Right.
to work
Stab
with.
them to
Yeah.
discomfort. If
Exactly.
you're going to stab them.
Just not
Yeah.
to death.
But the other one in the VO of the trailer, the last line was it the perfect crime or a cry for help? And it's like, it wasn't the perfect crime because she got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's out the window.
And
Cry
it's,
for help.
Right.
It's either a perfect crime or those are the two opposites. Those are the two. Okay.
You're either a complete psychopath who can pull off the perfect crime, or you're a
just
put upon
need some
person who
help.
needs help who also committed a
You're
crime.
just so plain.
I feel like this was a misstep on marketing with American Girl dolls. There should have been a
yeah.
plain girl.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
Plain girl.
who snapped
Who had
and
a
then
knife,
married
yeah.
And
killed
it could have
cheerleader.
been, Chucky could have been involved in it.
Yes.
There'd been a way to reuse Cabbage Patch dolls.
Uh-huh.
This is why we made this podcast, to bring hidden gems like this
Yes.
back to life.
It is also on YouTube. The entire thing is on YouTube. You can just watch it for
boy.
free on YouTube.
I don't know if our listeners needed that information. It's okay. Just pause us and come back after you watch it. Okay?
Yeah,
That's
and
all
be
we're asking.
Be sure and send us your thoughts.
Yes, please.
Tell Heath how much you loved it, because obviously you're gonna love it. Yeah. Out of the gate, Heath coming in hot.
So hot,
In 1994.
I
Do you
expected nothing less.
Do you got something? From...
do.
Okay.
I have a question for all of you.
Oh, okay.
Where were you?
Oh boy.
Where were you when the Bronco chase happened?
Oh,
The O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. Where were you?
Uh-huh.
Because I specifically know where I was.
Do you really?
I do too, yeah.
Whoa, I don't remember. Okay, so tell us, where were you?
I was at music camp at Luther College.
Oh.
I know that's not what you expected.
Did they round everybody up and to watch it on TV?
We were all in kind of like a common area thing, and it was like time that we could use the phone or something to call home. And so people were in line, and there was a TV, and it was on the TV. And I remember people being like, "Oh, like he killed his wife," and everyone being like, "What?" Because the idea that there was like a real life murder, and we were watching the chase, and it was like this famous football player was I mean, now I don't think any of us would be totally surprised to turn on the TV and see that. But then, I mean, they interrupted broadcast. This was the thing.
Yeah.
And at being that age at music camp, we were like, what is happening?
It was insane. Yeah. I mean, I don't think then we knew that celebrities could be awful people. Right. I think we know that now. But 30 years ago, we didn't know that. They had people that kept that under wraps.
Yeah,
that's true.
they did.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have that news cycle and TV cycle either, where they were filling time. I mean, this idea that they were interrupting other broadcasts just to watch a Bronco race down.
I do remember just feeling like this isn't really a race. This feels like a slow motion car crash. I don't know.
It feels like the police could have done more to stop it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So where were you when this happened?
I was in my parents' basement. I remember I was down there with some friends, and I remember we turned it on, and we were just sort of like, and it was like engrossing, and you're just like, oh my! And then after a while, it's like, so this is it?
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be this?
Just this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember, to further that thought, I remember when the verdict came in, they read the verdict out loud at school.
What?
Which is kind of a wild thing to think about, because I went to
at
a
your Catholic school.
Yeah. It was like this newsworthy event that they felt the need to tell people.
I mean, I could understand it if it was one of the priest trial. That would make sense to read that one out loud.
Oh, no. Yeah, that one somehow they were like, under the rug.
You don't think they just announced when all the,
No.
hundreds and hundreds of priests all around the world?
I think they were probably like, how far buried is Father so-and-so? How many calls are we going to get? Should we set up a phone line?
Yeah.
More likely, yeah.
Wow. So did you follow the case pretty closely?
Yeah. I mean, I remember for whatever reason being riveted by it. Like I watched the trial. I remember watching the trial. I don't know why. I mean, I had no legal knowledge, but it felt like crime. Something. I know. I was in.
But they I remember they preempted daytime TV for months when the trial was on.
Did you knock yourself out on the microphone? I did. I just hit my headphones on the microphone so hard.
There was she convulsed.
She did. She got so excited about OJ.
I did.
The Bronco.
But yes, they preempted everything to show it.
I remember occasionally they'd put Days of Our Lives on in the evening because people were pissed because they weren't getting Days of Our Lives because the trial was on all day.
Because they were like, here's better soap opera.
Yeah,
watch
this.
Is
for real. My main thing is just a few years ago when the Ryan Murphy show came out, and you were really encouraging all of us to watch it because you had watched it, I think, right as it aired. And I learned so much from that show. Like, as much as it was popular back in 1994, so much of it we didn't know or we didn't really understand or anything. And
I don't think a lot of the behind the scenes wasn't known about a lot of the other factors that were playing into the trial and Marcia Clark and all of that.
Yeah. And I mean, I did think of being on the jury for that. And you just had to live in this hotel. I mean, how long did that trial go on? It went on for months.
Yeah. So long. It's such a good example of one of the myriad of reasons that we have problems with the legal system. But that right there, any juror that... Isn't there a scene in the Ryan Murphy thing where that guy's making waffles and it's the same thing day after day? Yes. He's making a waffle at the hotel. And it's if you think about that monotony and you're not around anyone and you have no access to anything, and then you expected them to spend a whole bunch of time after this lengthy trial really going through everything and making a decision. At some point you're just gonna be fine, I don't care, do whatever, I need out of here.
Yeah. I would have been like that day one. I can't stay at a hotel with all these people.
On things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere willingly and be eject.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yes.
Pull the plug.
When I did find out something interesting about the OJ trial when I was reading about it before we recorded, and that happened the night there was one of his kids had a recital and he went, and Nicole Brown went with her family, were there, and then Nicole and her family went out to eat at the restaurant where Ron what was his name? Ron Goldman, yeah, was a waiter. And apparently OJ and Kato went and got McDonald's and were eating it at the house. I didn't know. Like, they didn't invite him out to dinner because at this point they were divorced. Nicole and OJ were divorced, and she didn't want him, at dinner with her family.
Yeah.
So he's eating McDonald's with Kato, and I was just like, oh.
Final quarter pounder.
And I thought, I don't know. That'd be kind of a fun thing to say. Like, I ate McDonald's with Kato Kalin.
Yeah.
I like that it's that way. I ate McDonald's with O.J. Simpson.
No, I wouldn't tell anybody about that.
No. It's funny how popular he got off of that, too, which was a very, kind of fuzzy, nebulous role.
Right.
I remember even at the time it felt so gross because you could tell, people were getting deals and they were getting all this attention and everything for being part of this trial, and it just felt gross even as it was happening.
I specifically remember the way the Tonight Show handled it and Jay Leno with the dancing Itos, and it was so. I get that they're a comedy show and they were trying to that was their job is to be funny about stuff, but it's also two people died.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was poor family to think that you had them just how much more evidence did you need?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And to watch him walk free had to just be gut-wrenching.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think one thing that show did nicely too was sort of talk about what was happening with gender in terms of the domestic abuse was just being sort of ignored, and then Marcia and her whole haircut thing, and people just tearing into her for the audacity of being a woman with hair. Mm-hmm. And a lawyer.
And all the behind the scenes threats and stuff she was getting. Yeah. All the, everything she was dealing with while also doing this high profile case with all this pressure. I mean, just what a weird world we live in.
And also, Sarah Paulson's great.
Oh, Sarah Paulson's amazing. Mm-hmm. Sarah Paulson's the only Marcia Clark for me. That probably wasn't fair, but I said it.
You stand by it.
I mean, Marcia Clark would probably sign off on that too. She'd probably be like,
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
So in my research of trying to remember what all happened in 1994, I found a little tidbit that I didn't know or didn't remember, which is that, so this was the year that TLC released Crazy Sexy Cool. Mm-hmm. This was also the year that Lisa Left Eye Lopez set fire to her boyfriend's tennis shoes. Mm-hmm. The fire spread through the mansion that they shared and burned it to the ground.
All the way down.
Yep.
I don't know if I knew that was happening at the time. I, obviously loved TLC, but...
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I feel like I do. I remember when that happened. And I feel like I remember the media around it being very see, she's crazy. Mm-hmm. He was out there talking about how crazy she was. And this was proof. And I was like, but also, if you've ever lit anything on fire, that gets out of hand quickly. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's,
And I don't know, did she ever go on TV and just be like, no, I was just trying to burn the shoes. I didn't want to burn down the whole house.
Yeah. This wasn't a goal.
In fact, she didn't probably have a lot of experience of burning a bunch of expensive shoes at the same time. So she didn't know. You shouldn't do that inside.
Probably.
No, do that on the lawn.
But I'm assuming he did something to warrant this burning.
I feel like,
And probably got carried away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As one does.
As one does when you're burning shoes.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
Happens.
Can I also mention this was the year I had that jaw surgery?
Oh.
The jaw surgery? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Throw back to episode 1.
Yeah. And then the year that I had my jaw surgery, and then 2 weeks later fell and broke my jaw. So 1994 forever. It was the year of hooks and jaw surgery twice. Good times.
And I imagine that in that moment you could relate. I'm sure you felt like burning something down.
I did. I felt like burning it all down.
Yeah.
Burn this track down to the ground.
Burn this track.
Burn this girl that tripped me. I don't know who it was.
A girl tripped you?
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
I fell. I fell in the race, and part of me wanted to blame.
Oh, sure.
Because you're funneling. I was running the 800 meters, and you funnel down into one lane after a while. And during that funneling is when I fell. So I either fell over someone else, or I fell over my own 2 feet. Oh. And it's probably the latter. But sometimes I like to be like, there was some girl that tripped me.
That's just true. As humans, we're never more indignant than when we fall. You did that.
It's like,
You could be by yourself and you're like, you absolutely tripped me.
Especially when you fall straight on your jaw and break it.
Did they stop the race?
Yes.
Oh, okay. They weren't just like, we're like,
Well, it's fine.
finish up.
Just wipe her off.
We'll address this when it's
No,
over.
they shot the gun and stopped it, and then I kind of sat up and then I couldn't do anything.
Did you tell immediately it was broken?
Oh yeah, it was fucked up, and I couldn't go to the hospital that night because I had eaten something. It doesn't sound legit. I couldn't go to the hospital that night.
Did you walk out to the hospital? They were like, I can tell you've been eating. Good night.
So I had to wait till the next morning. So that night, I just had to take some Advil and be like, it'll be fine.
I mean, like every car crash victim, see you tomorrow because you were leaving a restaurant. You were leaving a restaurant. Sorry, I know you ate. I know you just got down on a whole bunch of free Fazoli's breadsticks.
Yep.
No surgery for you.
So yeah, that was the rule in 1994. You eat. You can't go to the hospital.
If you wanted to come to the hospital, you should have thought about that before you ate.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Don't eat because you might have to go to the hospital.
You might have to go to the hospital.
Holy shit.
And then 2 weeks after that, I went on a school trip to New York City and DC.
2 weeks?
Yeah. So then I had to figure out how to eat when I was there. And what I ended up doing was just having a lot of fillet of fish and just smashing it on the roof of my mouth because I couldn't really open or chew or anything.
You just let the fillet of fish just soften in your mouth, and then you
just swallow it.
This is the origins of why you're a vegan, because that's not something that should stay in your mouth any longer than it has to. I mean, it's a fillet of fish.
I was just looking for any sort of soft foods, and that was the softest I could find in Times Square. I don't know. I felt like burning down a mansion. But I didn't have a mansion.
You didn't have a mansion or sneakers.
Nope. And because, we were the oldest daughters, just pushed it all inside. Just pushed it down.
Makes me feel bad about being mad about the magnet cup.
It's fine. We were fine.
Oh, no.
What about you, Erin? You got something else?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You got some trauma to share?
Well, I'm going to skip right over my own trauma. Thanks for the offer.
Okay, all right.
I have another question for you.
Oh, this is a lot of questions.
Yeah, all mine came with questions this time.
I just realized I skipped over Heath. We'll come back to you, Heath. I got confused.
That's
I got
fine.
confused.
That's fine.
This is a simple yes or no question.
Okay.
Have you ever thought in the middle of a crisis, maybe a jaw broke, maybe a car accident, maybe whatever, you know what this could use? A little Howard Stern. Have you ever thought that?
I mean, we're not in a crisis now, but I'm thinking right now this could use a little
Howard
Stern.
Stern. Okay, all right. Well, apparently in 1994, he convinced a caller live on air not to jump off the George Washington Bridge and commit suicide. And it was on air.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No. How did that,
I'm assuming it was he acted like it was a normal call and got through. And somehow in the conversation, it was revealed that this was his intention. And Howard Stern successfully talked him off the bridge until help could get there or whatever. And
Did he tell him you can't jump off the bridge because you ate?
I think that was part of it, that he was like, look, they can't provide any emergency services if you've eaten anything today.
The river is like, no, sir, you have eaten.
Well, you're
not
not floating
today.
because you ate today.
So this guy called in
And he talked about, and that kind of blew my mind because I never thought, you know what, I would put Howard Stern on my crisis team. That's a game Mike and I play, by the way.
Who's on the crisis team?
You have 5 spots on a crisis team. And we talk about who, in our real life, we would put on there and why. And we take people on and off regularly, off the crisis team.
Whoa.
It's a great game if you think about it.
Game. I need do you have a crisis team, Heath?
I don't.
Yeah. This is something missing in our lives, apparently.
I need that. I do need that.
It feels very powerful, even though it means nothing. But you can, at will, be like, that was bad behavior off the crisis team.
Can I put you both on my crisis team?
You're on my crisis team.
Are there certain kinds of crises I can call you with and others that I can't?
you can call me anytime.
Okay.
There might be some I'm more helpful with.
Right,
Okay.
for sure.
All right.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
There might be some I'm not helpful with.
I see.
If someone tells you you can't go to the hospital because you ate, you call me because I'm helpful then.
I was going to say, if you want a list of places that you can go after you've eaten, I can provide that.
In fact, I might just make that on my voicemail. This is Amy calling to see if she can go to the hospital. You can.
Good. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Heath, what do you got from 1994?
1994 was also the year that the film Forrest Gump was released into theaters.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Was it the same time as Pulp Fiction, too?
Yeah.
I think it was the same year. I think Pulp Fiction came out in the fall.
Lion King, Jurassic Park, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank were all in theaters at the same time.
Damn.
That's a wild statistic.
Yeah. No, yeah. And the thing about Forrest Gump is that I saw it, I think, 5 times. In the theater.
I did not expect
Wow.
that. That is amazing.
And I thought it was a good movie, but like looking back, I'm not. I don't think you have to go to the theater 5 times good.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not that.
I do remember, though, it felt like the computer graphics were so
Right.
revolutionary at
Right.
the time.
The idea of like Elvis and Richard Nixon being in those scenes where Tom
Yes.
Hanks was acting, like we'd never seen anything
Yeah.
quite like that before.
Yeah.
So there was that. I mean, and it was, you know, I think I was just sad. I think I was just sad that year. And then, you know, the end of the movie's sad. And I was like, I need an outlet. And I think that was my outlet.
You know what though? I think too, you're really there's something about that age where like you have that time to spend in a movie
Yes.
theater,
Yeah.
and so like why won't I go see that? I have nothing else to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got a free couple hours. Why don't I go see this movie for the 4th time?
Yeah.
And you were in a transition phase. You were going
Right.
from high school to college.
Yes. Yes.
Which is kind of a scary, lonely time.
It can be, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I do. I remember my roommate. It played in the theater in Waterloo for so long. Like it played like it was there for like a year. Like it
Wow.
played for so long. And I remember my roommate at the time had called the theater and was like, when you're done with that Forrest Gump display, can I have it? And then gave it to me as a gift. I think it was for my birthday
Oh
or for
my
Christmas.
gosh.
So I had this giant Forrest Gump. Like it was like 6 feet wide and like 8 feet tall. Like I had this huge
Whoa.
thing.
That's such a nice
yeah.
gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I moved it like, you know, it moved us a few different apartments and stuff, you know, and yeah.
Yeah, that was really
Wow.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, that's a big gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That takes up some real
Yeah. I
estate.
mean, there was, you had to plug it in. There was lighting. There was, yeah, it was a
Wow.
thing.
I don't know where to go from there.
I don't either. I was thinking about my roommates, and I'm like, all I got was one that literally wore underwear all the time and had holes in it. I would be like, what?
That's not the same.
No.
That's not the
I was
same as
thinking
that
Forrest
gift.
Gump's
No.
life
No.
displays.
I will also say that I'm glad we don't currently live in a time where people say the box of chocolate line. You know,
Yep.
like the people
Yeah.
aren't
Yep.
constantly saying that. Like, I'm glad that's
That
not-
was,
Yeah.
that was many years there.
Mm-hmm.
When did Bubba Gump Shrimp start then? Like, it was soon after that, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Which has
Yeah.
become like this huge institution
Yeah.
of chain restaurants.
Yeah. I ate at one. I'd
In
gone to-
Beverly Hills?
No, I
Oh.
wish it was in Beverly Hills. It was in Orlando, so kind of the same.
Totally the same.
It's totally the same.
I went there for a work conference, and it was me and a coworker, and Michael was there, and Michael was
Okay.
with us, and this my coworker friend Bob suggested we go there, and this is not Michael's jam at all. Like theme restaurants and stuff like that's just not his. You know. I mean, we're in Orlando, so it's not like there's fine dining there.
No, you're yeah.
But we went there, and the amount of knowledge that the waiter had about the film and shrimp was unnerving.
Wow.
Yeah, it
I
was.
wonder if that's part of the training.
I think it must be. I think it
Yeah.
must be. Because, I mean, you can't, like, this was, like, I don't know, not 7 or 8 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. But it was
Yeah.
a long time after the movie came out. And just, like, it was off-putting. Like, I like the movie, but, like, you know, trying to beat me in a trivia contest about it was
Yeah.
just sort of like, I don't know, dude.
I feel like that was an anomaly because I ate at one in Minneapolis, and I'm not sure that waiter even knew there was shrimp on the menu.
I ate at one in Chicago, and it felt very much just like, this is a job, and I got to
Yeah.
serve you people.
Uh-huh.
And it was at Navy Pier, and it was just like,
Yeah. It felt more like a TJI Fridays and less like a.
So you got one. He was trying to be an actor. Like
Right,
he's
I think
down
so.
near the Universal Park, and he's like,
Right.
"This is my chance.
I
This
think
is it."
I think it was at Universal. I think it's where the restaurant was. Because
okay.
the hotel we were staying at was part of the Universal parks.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
That guy plays a minion now at the park.
probably.
Worked his way up.
I started a Bubba Cup and now I'm a minion. You too can achieve your dreams.
He's on the training video.
Also in 1994, Netscape launched.
What?
Yeah.
Thanks, Al Gore.
But I thought that was very interesting because I think that was the primary browser that I used in college.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Yeah. It was like maybe the only browser at the time.
Yeah,
Like the
Netscape
whole-
Navigator.
Yeah, the whole concept of browsers was brand new. So it was just like, I don't quite
Yeah.
know what to do, but it revolutionized the world.
It did.
It paved the way for Safari and Chrome and all the things.
And Edge.
Don't forget about Edge.
Don't you leave Edge behind.
That makes me think of that clip of, I think it was Katie Couric and Bryant Gumbel on the Today Show that are talking about the internet, and neither one of them really knew what it was, and it was just like the World Wide Web.
Yes. If you watch some of that old stuff of like, we don't know how to talk about this. What is this?
I do remember having, like, being at home. It would have been the following year. It would have been 1995. But I remember being at home, and we had a computer, and we had, AOL and dial-up and stuff. And it was like, me and my two brothers and my parents were all living there. And it was like, get off the phone! I'm trying to look at the Batman Forever website! And it was just us shouting at each other. It's like, I don't care if you have to make a phone call. I'm trying to download this picture of Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That does check. That does check. Well, my last thing, I want to call back to the Satanic Panic.
Oh, let's do.
And I feel like this might be what happened to those kids after.
Oh,
After you were told you got holes drilled in your head.
right. And no one checked to see that was
Right.
accurate or not.
But I'm going to preface it with a question.
Okay.
What was the weirdest non-food item you ingested as a child? Your own jaw doesn't count.
All my hopes and dreams.
Did you get dared to eat anything? Did you willingly eat anything when you were little?
No, but my brothers ate dirt a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay.
We had pictures of them digging into like planters in the house and just dirt smeared all over. Yeah.
I don't know if this counts or not because technically it's food, but I ate dog food as a kid.
Oh,
I like that. That's an
yeah.
option. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
definitely counts.
Okay.
Well, this is the year that Crayola had to discontinue their scented crayons because too many kids were eating them. Which I just feel like has to somehow be related. It does. To the Satanic Panic.
Because Satan got in them.
And
And
just
then
couldn't
they're
help
like,
it. They're
I
it
gotta
smells like
eat
grape. I ate it again. Sorry. Because this isn't just like an isolated. It's so bad that it got to Crayola corporate, and they're like, "That is the 500th call today about kids eating. We got to stop. We got to stop. We have to stop the scented crayons."
Did these smell like steak or something? Like, what did they smell like?
I'm assuming fruity flavors if I think about Crayola.
Yeah. But also, if the kids are eating them, don't they need to buy more crayons? Like,
You
is
should
it,
have been
Yeah.
Crayola.
Crayola didn't think that
Yeah.
through.
yeah.
Yeah, they discontinued it because kids, you can't stop yourselves, so we're done.
Right.
We're done. We're done. You don't get any more scented crayons.
So your contention is that the survivors of the Satanic Panic went on to be the kids
You
that
can't
ate the
think
crayons.
clearly after that.
You
Did I get a hole drilled in me or did I not? I don't know. This crayon smells like grapes. I mean, that seems like I could
I
eat
have
it.
to eat it.
I don't
At
know
least
why
it was-
I wouldn't.
At least it was a healthy food, like grapes or that's fruit.
Yeah.
You need to get that. Does that counts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it smelled like birthday cake, which I also contend, as a side note, is not a flavor of anything. I know people think birthday cake is a flavor.
It's
It is not a
not.
flavor.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a bonus unmitigated call. To call yourself a flavor, you're just an object.
Right.
You're a birthday
Yeah.
cake.
Now I'm trying to put my finger on what it actually smells like or what it actually tastes like.
Or like when they say bubblegum's a flavor.
Yeah.
Like when you'd go to the dentist as a kid and they'd do the fluoride thing, they're like, what do you want? Do you want like mint or bubblegum? And it's like, bubblegum's not a flavor.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's like saying
Yeah.
shoe is a flavor. Shoe is not a flavor.
She's a thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Also, if you're wondering and you do come across some cinnamon crayons, that does count as food you cannot eat before you go to the hospital.
Okay.
You cannot ingest crayons. They will not.
You
This
show
is
up with
good to know. Can I eat dirt? Can I eat
Dog food?
Dog food?
Approved.
Okay.
In a way, you did eat dirt when you fell.
Yep.
It was on like a not asphalt, but something like that. So I probably ate something.
Yeah, there
Gravel
was stuff
or-
in there
yeah.
that they didn't get out till the next day.
Shit's still in there. It's still in there.
It's still in there.
Still in my gut.
You could go get an X-ray of your jaw right now and be like, "That are these asphalt pieces? Why is this in your jaw?"
By the way, I do enjoy whenever I've gone to a new dentist and they take X-rays and then they see that there's some metal screws in my jaw and they're like, It's almost like they're asking me, do those belong? Do you know what those are there? Do those belong there?
Are you a robot?
What's the option if you don't?
Take them out!
What?
How would I have got these without knowing? But maybe satanic panic. Maybe they were asking me if I survived the satanic panic.
You
Yeah.
got a hole drilled and they put a
I
screw
got-
in it. And then you ate scented crayons.
I did.
Has anyone ever accused you at the dentist of being Wolverine?
When they instituted all the new rules at airports after 9/11, I was like, I wonder if these will set them off. Like, will I set off all the things? The answer was no. But,
No.
yeah.
All right. Well, I am proud to present
Oh.
to our listeners and the people here
Yes.
the single greatest artistic achievement of our time.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ever?
Ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay.
It is a album called Merry Christmas by Mariah Carey. It was released in 1994.
Oh my god. How did we not see
How
this
did we
coming?
not see it?
I didn't even see this on any list.
I didn't either.
The lists were wrong.
Remember in Broads and Books, Aaron?
Yes.
Around episode 9, I revealed my deep and enduring love for David Bowie. Here we are, episode 4.
Yep.
And Heath has admitted
His
where he's at with Mariah Carey.
And I was
I'm
really
so
proud
glad.
of you for making it to episode 9. You made it. We thought that was an achievement. I'm
Yeah.
equally as proud you made it to 4.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
Because
I
we've
mean,
been
this
talking
is-
about 90. I mean, it's been
Right.
it's around.
This is your moment. This
Yeah.
is your moment. Take it.
Yes. Merry Christmas, Mariah. That's a good one.
yeah, it's the best one. So we had, we talked a little bit earlier, like, my first year, my transition from high school to college wasn't super smooth. It was kind of tough. My first instinct when meeting people, still to this day, is to run the other way, which is not a great tactic,
Which is,
when you're starting college and you are meeting people.
Which is maybe why, 1, I really wanted to be your friend. And 2, when I finally got there, like a few years in, I was like,
You're in.
this feels good. It feels hard won.
Yeah. I am not a slutty friend.
You were a prim and proper friend. Yes.
So, and it was just a rough time, bad haircut, roommate that I had, nothing really in common with. We didn't really know each other, we weren't interested in the same things. And I remember I had a part-time job as a telemarketer. Like, that's what I did when I wasn't at school, flailing in classes.
I did too.
See?
That's bizarre.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're connected on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although to be clear, mine was making people take surveys instead of buy things. Yeah. But
Ooh.
same
I was
concept.
trying to get people to sign up for the Discover card.
I was too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I worked there for a few weeks and I was like, I forgot I hate calling people.
When people were rude to me on the phone, I'd put them on the callback list. And for a while, what I would do is I would make a call and then I would read a paragraph. I'd bring books from school, the reading I had to do, and I'd make a call and then I'd read a paragraph, and then I'd make another call and I would try to spread them out,
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
but not so much that it would
Send off any.
right,
Yeah.
that people would
Perfect.
notice.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was life wasn't great for me at the time. But then on, let's see, what was the date exactly? It was November 1st, 1994. I took what little money I had, and I went to the store, and I purchased Merry Christmas by Mariah Carey. And I came home, and I remember putting it on. I went into the closet of my bedroom in this apartment I was sharing with this guy. And I was sitting on the floor. And I remember the first track was Silent Night. And I was like, oh, well, this isn't really that great. But the second track is All I Want for Christmas Is You. And, you know, that got me through, like, probably the next 4 years. And it's gotten me through quite a few years since then.
Can I ask something real quick? Before that, were you a Mariah Carey fan? That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were really into her, so you were ready for this. Yeah. Okay.
This brought it up a level.
Got it.
You know,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
And it's like, the idea that the song went to number 1 25 years after it came out is just, you know.
Staying power.
Yeah. It's history, baby.
And
like, you know.
And it's telling you you're right.
Yes.
Yeah. That is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of a sick burn because she says, I don't want a lot for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is you, which is a low-key sick burn to say to somebody, which makes it better.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I can't, you know, I didn't make the song go to number 1, but I feel like I had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buying the original, like that original album,
do you still have it?
I do.
Oh,
I do still have it.
yes.
Yeah. I've bought more copies of it
Yes.
since. I probably got like 5 copies of the CD.
But you
in
have
my
the
house.
original.
I do still
It's
have the original.
that's just
Fantastic.
smart. You
Yeah.
should have a copy in multiple places. Yeah.
And I don't, you know, I'm not a big "I told you so" type of person. I would like to.
I think you have the right to.
Warranted.
I would like to tell
Yeah.
everybody from 1994, "I told you so."
Yeah.
I was right about
Yeah.
this. I was right.
Wouldn't
So-
you like to go back and open that door and be like, "You're right. That's an amazing song. It's
Yes.
going to be number 1 for years."
Yes. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. If you, Heath, now could go back and talk to Heath then, who was sitting in that closet listening to Mariah Carey,
Yes.
you'd be like, listen, bud,
Yeah.
you're right.
You're right. This is going to signify the beginning of Christmas every year.
Every
No one is going to
year.
believe it's holiday season until they
Until we
hear that song.
this.
She's going to dress up for years for every special and come out and do that song.
Can I share a story of when I was first getting to know Heath?
No. Yes, of course.
And we went on a fall trip to New Hampton.
Yep.
And
Which is by where I grew up, and it's so
Just-
confusing. Continue.
just a few of us were doing like fall trips where we went to small towns and stuff like that. And we went into this town. Could it even be called a town? It was maybe a handful of people in this town. And we went into the bar. We went into one bar. There were 2 bars.
Yeah. There were 2 bars.
Okay.
We stopped at bar number 1.
We stopped at bar number 1. We had a drink. And we're like, okay. And we're just getting like I don't like this place kind of vibe. So before we leave, though.
That's shocking.
Yeah. Before we go, Heath goes to the jukebox and puts in All I Want for Christmas Is You and plays it like 12 times.
Yep. And then we left.
That was our, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the thing was, the people they were I don't know, they were like mid to late 20s. These people that were there, and they were just sort of like rolling their eyes at us because we were just having fun.
We were
weren't
having
bothering
fun.
anybody. And I was just like,
We were
you know what?
city folk
Yeah.
coming to their town having some fun.
Yeah. I was like, you need some fun in your life, so
Yeah,
listen to
you
this
do.
12 times.
Do you think they unplugged it?
I like to think that after that, they were like, you know what? That guy was right.
Yeah. I like to too.
This is the best.
Yeah. I'd like to think that every time they hear that song around the holidays, now they think of all of you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, remember that?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Anyway, to summarize, Merry Christmas is the Michelle Obama of music. It's perfect, and any complaints will not be considered. Thank you.
Okay, so from now on, pretty much every '90s episode, we have to check in on. We have to have a Mariah Carey check-in. Like,
Yeah.
where was
Oh, I can
Mariah?
provide that.
Yeah, where was Mariah at this moment?
Yes.
What was she putting out? How was Heath feeling about it?
Yes. Agreed.
Do you think your love of Mariah has grown over the years, or was it always this intense?
I think it has not always been this intense.
Okay.
I mean,
Is that a fair word to say, by
yeah.
the way? Okay.
I think it's a healthy intensity.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly been this way the whole time. We went to a concert at the Civic Center here in Des Moines. And it was Kristen Chenoweth, who can rot in hell.
I feel the same way. What is it about her?
And we went, and she was singing, and it was fine. I bought tickets for our anniversary or something. Michael and I were there, and she told some story about, some shitty story about Mariah Carey. I did not stand up the rest of that concert. At the end, people were giving her a standing ovation. I was like, see you in hell, bitch. Nope. Everybody around me was standing up, and people were looking. They were like, what's wrong with him? And I was like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, did you not hear that Mariah Carey story?
I love
That's
that
right.
he sticks up for her.
Yes.
In every situation.
I love that. Yeah, that's nice.
It's just a deep and abiding love.
I like to think somewhere she's sticking up for me.
Absolutely.
When necessary.
I think she did with that album, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
I'm so glad that we brought Mariah into the light.
She's finally getting some attention
Yeah.
for her talent.
Yeah.
Maybe for my final element is circling back to something that we talked a little bit about in your senior picture, which was wearing the Alabama sweatshirt. Because it feels like this was at least an Iowa trend at the time of wearing like college sweatshirts that no one had ever gone to.
Yes.
I was wearing a Georgetown sweatshirt at the time.
Vanderbilt.
Like, what the hell? What was this trend? And was it anywhere besides Iowa? But this was a legit thing in like 94, 95. There's so many people my year that had senior pictures with the sweatshirts from schools that they probably couldn't pronounce.
And weren't going to.
And
so
we're
it didn't,
definitely not going to.
And I don't know why they were even selling an Alabama sweatshirt in Iowa then at
No.
the time. I don't even know why. Like, were they selling Iowa sweatshirts in Alabama? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
So yeah, that was at least a localized fashion trend that is inexplicable.
It is inexplicable. Now that, when you really drill down, what was
what
going
was
on with
that? And I remember really coveting like a Harvard one.
Yeah.
At least that Harvard's like a smart school.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, nobody's been like, oh, you went to Alabama? Oh, hello. So your IQ is 500? Okay.
And you were so proud of it. You wore it to your senior pics.
I did. And I leaned against a tree.
You did.
So I think there's actually two pictures. There's one that you've seen that's closer up, and there's one that's further away where my jeans are tight rolled, and you can. And I'm wearing like Reebok pumps, and you can see like head to toe the whole package.
Reebok
Okay.
pumps.
We need to see these. Will you send them to us?
I'll try to find them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Man, oh
So
man.
much there.
So much.
What an episode.
What an episode. I'm just repeating you because I got nothing else. I got nothing else.
1994 was an episode.
It was.
I'm still digesting the fact
This
that
is-
I was told wrong about surgery and not being able to eat.
Yeah, that feels like we all have trauma to unpack. That's what that feels
I'm
like.
going to go away after this and really think through life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, try listening to Merry Christmas in the closet. It helped. It helped me a lot. It might help you too.
I'm not going to lie, it sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about the state of my life right now. That sounds really enjoyable. I think it's safe to say we're going to end up with a second 1994 episode at some point.
So, because there's a lot on my list that
Oh,
I did
yeah.
not
so
get
many
to.
things that I did
Yeah.
not get to. I
We didn't
know.
talk about What a Man by Salt and Pepper and En Vogue.
No, we didn't talk about Kurt Cobain.
No.
We didn't talk about Pulp Fiction.
Nope.
Reality Bites.
I guess this is a preview for part
Yeah,
two.
yeah. Those
There's
are
a
all
lot.
going to come up.
There's a lot coming. In the meantime, you know where to find us.
Yeah.
You find us on our socials. And that's it. That's literally the only place. I do not want to see you in person.
We'll see you at the hospital on a full stomach.
On a full tummy after a 3-course meal.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Until then, stay rad.